Hi, you're about to watch a video from our masterclass with none other than European bass giant Anders Jormin.
Yeah, I cannot really analyze it, but there is 3 key elements when you want to improvise that you can think of, not when you play, but in between your sessions. Repetition, variation, and contrast. If I now try to remember, I only remember it was F sharp minor now, but I did. That's phrase 1. Now I can repeat it. I consider that a repetition with a small variation. I can variate it. This has been a mix of repetition and variation, and now I consider this contrast, and then can you understand how I'm building? I'm totally improvising now. So this is not a masterpiece for sure. No, but I was using the 3 elements of repetition with maybe just changing dynamics or doing a little, because I hate when 2 things are the same twice, but you can still repeat without them being the same. So, and I repeated. It was not the same, but still the same, was it? Or
yes.
And then variation. I was changing the register. So
when you play that, Anders, I mean, this is really hard because I'm kind of unpicking your art in a way that, and I'm sure that you don't think as consciously as I'm going to ask you the questions, but I mean, you're playing there and I could feel that you know, we all felt comfortable that we're in this F sharp minor sound. And then the contrast that you were adding as you were developing the ideas, you played the F natural at the end, and then you also played a C natural leading to the C sharp at one point when you were doing an idea, and it felt like we were moving and then back again. It was almost like you're rocking back and forwards, but you're coming back to this F sharp minor. But when you played the idea there, it felt like a completely different world. Were you actually
that was my purpose, contrast, because I had mentioned it.
I loved
I
it.
had to do something different. But I still, when I choose it, I was once again using the mix of knowledge and experience and freedom, everything at the same time. So I did something that should have a different sound. I chose another register, but I choose the same key. I still did it in F sharp minor. I think I did. And this is, I don't know what this is called in bass. I do this sometimes, I think. The meaning is just to give life to this note. Yes. And I could do, or I don't know what possibilities to.
It's kind of an ornament for.
Yes, it is an ornament.
Yeah.
That comes basically unplanned. But it signalizes a wish to really put accent to this note, like a singer does.
And that's so sounds so lyrical. And then the phrase that you had that was moving around, that you were moving when you were descending as well. It had that almost trilling around. The note, a semitone above and a tone below, I think you were playing.
Maybe. And, this was totally improvised.
Well,
I have to say,
maybe you would, but it's interesting you're embellishing. I don't know, was that an A? I'm not sure what you played.
Up here, that was a G sharp.
A G sharp, okay, yeah.
But my whole ambition is to give life to the phrase, to give it, here,
yes.
It is. This is important. And by doing this, I can kind of inspire me. I feel like a Spanish
Yes.
sing-songwriter, Mercedes Sosa, or and now we ended up in a very tonal improvisation in the key of F sharp minor. It could also be free harmonically, and then the challenge would be to not get stuck. If I start like this, I now have to. Now that was a bad example, but the challenge is if you stay 2 seconds too long in a modality, you're stuck. So another trick would be to no, I didn't allow myself to stay in a key. I moved constantly, avoiding to stay in a key too long. This was just a extremely pedagogic improvisation to show.
It sounded great.
Avoiding key centers.
And those big jumps that you were doing up the fingerboard, I feel like I hear you moving not only fluidly through the register, but also quite at times you're making a lot of progress. You know, you're not somebody that just sits here all the time. You know, you're physically moving through the register so effortlessly. It's fascinating.
I hear the phrases more or less in the moment I do them. So if I hear boo-hoo-hee, I'm in luck, in bad trouble, because how do you play that? I don't know. So we are doing a fancy production, and I'm playing something I have not a clue of. That's interesting. But this is how to improvise in a concert, or how I improvise, because there are a million ways to improvise. And I'm still, as you see, working with tones and pitches. You could also go into the sound all the way up to the noise. But this is more where I end up with the melodic.
I hope that you enjoyed that preview video. If you want to learn more about our masterclass, follow the links below.